Push at this, kind of this L shape, a lot at the bottom and in the middle. I'm going to let my thumb relax over the top. Whenever the clay starts to kind of be a little bit sticky, you'll want to put some water on it. So I'm pushing from the bottom, moving the clay up towards the top. We want to make kind of a, I don't know, a tall shape like that, tall cylinder-like thing. And then I'm going to bring it down. So to bring it down, I'm going to use this part of my hand, okay, like the pad of my thumb. And I just really, all I'm doing is pushing down, straight down. And I'm actually, my body, if you can notice the way that my body is moving down also. Can you see it happening? Okay, I'm going to do this 3 times. So I'm going to do it again. This clay's pretty soft.
Professor Harrison?
Yo.
Is your hand soft or hard?
My hand is soft. It's very relaxed. That's a very good question, because a lot of people are so rigid and scared at this point. They're like, oh God, something's gonna go wrong. That they actually like squeeze the life out of the clay. They actually take it off the bat. They squeeze it so hard that part of it just falls off. Like, there's so much that you can do that's not really very productive if you're super like worried. So my recommendation is to be I actually come up to students and just do this for a second, just relax, because it can get so tense. Now I do have some, like you can see, my hand is firm, but it's firm but soft. I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's not squeezing. And this part, my hand it's like this, but it's not like this. Does that make sense? Like, there's like a point kind of in the middle. What's rigid is this, and it's because it's a bone. That's the part I'm relying on, is that I have a bone that's going to get to my body, like to my whole body. So I can actually move this clay just by pushing my weight forward. Does that make sense? It's not, I don't have to have strong, super strong arms to be able to make this happen. In fact, the people who try to muscle it, takes longer for them to learn how to throw. And then when they try to throw something big, then they're like this, because arms can't actually control that much clay, right? It's not about your arms, it's about your whole body. I weigh quite a substantial amount compared to this little tiny piece of clay. It weighs a pound, right? Pound and a half. Make sense? I have a lot of power. It has a lot of power too. It's on this wheel. The wheel's going around. So there's a force that's driving it out, and there's also force making it go in. There's 2 forces. Okay, my hands are helping make it go in. So I gotta bring it up one more time, right?
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Does it matter which hand you direct it with?
Yes. So which hand do I have?
You have the left hand.
That's the one I want.
You always want the left, whether
For
you're
this.
right-handed or not? Okay.
For this is left. So here's the thing about throwing. It takes both hands. It's a very integrated mind thing, left and right. It takes both hands. Both hands have to be, it's like playing the piano. It takes both hands to be able to make things happen. For a beginner, I highly suggest you start with your left hand doing this job. If you cannot actually do this job with only your right hand. You have to have your left also. But I highly recommend just using your left. If it's a little bit if the clay is hard, you can use your right on top of your left as a way to kind of help brace. And if you're feeling like you really need it, then you can use both hands. But again, in teaching this for many, many years, the thing that I found that's really rings true over lots of people is that they try to do it this way because this way feels comfortable, because we're used to using our right hand. A lot of people who are right-handed want to use our right hand because it feels like, oh, I got more control. But actually that control is a very linear control, and we can't, it's really hard to undo that. And our left hand has much more sensitivity with this particular thing. And it's going in the direction that our left hand can do it. So like, there's certain things we're going to do over here, certain things we're going to do over here, very little stuff we're going to do up here, but one thing we do up here, right? Yeah?
Are you saying the positioning is probably because of the spin?
That is definitely part of it. That the spin is what creates the position that makes it go into my hand the way it needs to in order to move with just my left hand. Yeah,
Is that why it has the reverse spin option, is like if you're left-handed, or?
that is why it has it, although I've got my teachings, meaning my teachers, I come from a lineage, right?
Yeah, this makes sense, because I was learned how to wedge and comb with two hands, but I was in community college.
Well, that a lot of people do this with two hands.
No, yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just the only other place I've seen it.
Yeah, I like teaching it one-handed because I feel like the majority of people who have trouble with coning, if you tell them to put their right hand behind their back, they can cone in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
And then they take like years to learn with two hands, right? Like it's amazing to me. So I'm just offering that up. Gotta watch my time. Okay.
So are you doing 3 because you're demonstrating, or in this process you always do 3?
3. Always do 3. And the reason why we do this thing, it's some people call it coning, other people call it wedging on the wheel. So we just wedged, but this is actually a way to wedge in a way that's centered, actually centered, right? Like the clay is moving in a circle, my hand is steady and firm, and it just is already centered. By the time I'm done with this 3 times, I don't have to spend a long time centering. If you don't do that process, the coning, your centering will be much harder, the actual act of centering, which is what I'm going to do now. So to center, I want my left hand in the same position it was for coning, and my right hand is going to be in this, I always used to call this karate chop, but I don't want to call it that anymore. If anybody has any other way of saying it, this thing, this motion.
Chop.
Only karate.
Chop. I don't know what to call it. I don't think karate chop's the right thing anymore, but I don't know what to call it. You know, you get these like methods, but then and you come up with names and then they change. And okay, so again, anchored into inside of my leg. This hand is extremely firm, but not super tense. This hand is going to be relaxed. Do you see how relaxed I am when I come down? Okay, I'm so relaxed. Okay. If I'm like this, does that look relaxed? Okay. When I come to you and be like, relax your hand, if you look down, it's going to be like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is push in and down at the same rate, the same amount. This does require my body to be involved. If I try to do this with my arms, I'm going to get super tired, super fast. I'm also going to, if I try to do this with just my hand strength, I'm going to get a lot of rubbing on the bottom, because there is this kind of grog. The grog is fired clay, and it gets on the bat, and then it really will rub your hands. If you're trying to like will this thing into center, it will mess up your hand.